Okay, students. On this clip, we're gonna go over how to use the TI calculators to carry out arithmetic on complex numbers written in rectangular form. So write down the title, using TI calculators on complex number arithmetic. We're going to just focus on a rectangular form, okay? Rectangular form. The TI-89 does a better job with the polar form than the TI-83s and 84s. Alright, so let's try the following example. Simplify I to the 60th power. Okay? In order to do this by hand, you write this as I times I times I times I times I. How many do we have? One, two, one more. And then we'll use the fact that I squared equals negative 1 to pair these up and simplify, right? So we combine these two to I squared, combine these two to I squared, and then combine these two to I squared. And then since I squared is negative 1, because we know that the square root of negative 1 is I, and if you square both sides you get this. We're going to substitute negative 1 for all these i's. So we're going to have, this is going to become negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1, right? So these two multiply to give you positive 1. Minus times minus is a positive. So it's going to be positive 1 times negative 1. Final answer is negative 1. Okay? So guess what? You can do all these calculations with your TI calculator. So how do you do it? Um, let's start with the TI-83 first, and then I'll show you with the other calculator. With the TI-83, all you have to do is find where I is. You see this period right here next to it, upper left, you have that I there. So to access it, you have to use the second button. The second period brings up the I, raise it to the 6th power, enter negative 1. Okay? And if you have the TI-89, same process, but the I is located in a different position. So second function catalog should bring up the I. And then exponentiation is a caret, just like the other one, raised to the 6th power. Boom, negative 1. Okay? But when you're doing higher powers, like I to the 7th, this one tends to fall apart. So let's compare them. So if I wanted to do I to the 7th, for example, I to the 7th is negative I. If I try it here, I to the I to the 7th, I get this weird number. So um, this is basically 0, is a very small number, which is just like 0. 0 minus I is just negative I. But to get a nice clean result, any power greater than 6, the TI-89 is much more reliable. This one requires more work. Alright? Okay, so what if we have another example like this? If we had to do, um, example, if we're asked to do something like this, 2 plus I to the third. If I wanted to do this by hand, I'll have to write this as 2 plus I times 2 plus I times 2 plus I. And I have to fill out the whole thing, right? So the first two, if I multiply the first two, I get 4. 4 plus 2I plus 2I plus I squared. And then the last one stays alone. And let's simplify this quantity first before I do the last substitution. So this becomes 4 plus 4I, and then I squared is negative 1. Negative 1, and times 2 plus I. And then this combine the 4 and negative 1, you have 3 plus 4i times 2 plus I. Alright, now we have two complex numbers in rectangular form, so we're going to multiply again. Follow it out, you're going to get 6 plus 3i plus 8i plus 4i squared. Okay? And then we're going to have 6 plus 3 plus 8, 11i. And we know I squared is negative 1, so it's going to become, I squared tends to flip the sign, so it's going to become negative 4, like that. We combine the 6 and the 4, you get 2 plus 11i. Okay, see how much work we did, how long it is? A lot of room for error, but guess what? You can do all these calculations, all these computations with your TI calculator. So all you just do is 2 plus I caret exponents the third, boom, 2 plus 11i. Okay? Same story with the TI-89. Basically, you have 2 plus I raised to the third power. Boom. That goes your answer, 2 plus 11i. Alright? So I like you to use your calculators to try out the following. So, calculator activity. Calculator activity. Simplify. Simplify. Number 1, I to the 5th. Number 2, I to the 4th. Number 3, 2 plus I times 5 plus I. Number 4, 2 plus 3i to the 5th. Number 6, 1 plus I root 3. 1 plus I root 3 to the third. And then number 7 is root 3 plus 4i to the 5th power. Alright, so I like you to try all these in your calculator, and let's see what you get. Okay?